Greetings and salutations everyone, I'm Ekmak. This is Let's Play Oxygen Not Included. I can't really remember what we did last time we played, but I can tell you something very important. We're approaching a cutoff point. When we reach cycle 80, no more egg meat can be given to us. So the thing is, we hatch these hatch eggs on a 20 cycle basis. Also, I just remembered, we have a sage hatch. We want to get that out of here right now. Sorry, mate. But the thing is, hatch eggs take 20 days to hatch. Meaning that after actually, right about now, we've hit an end point. Haven't we? Because it also takes them 5 days to grow into full hatches and get out of that little food trap there. So if we did come in here and start shooting all the hatchlings, then they'd start eating each other's meat. So yeah, we have to think carefully about whether we actually have a chance at getting carnivore anymore. I also need to keep in mind that this number is actually going to swing as the day goes by. Every midnight, it's going to get a nasty swing towards we can't beat it, but as the day goes on, people are going to be eating meat and it'll swing towards we can beat it. So then, the usual calculation. We have 175, 989 kilocalories. Subtract 400,000. Divide by the remaining time of 25. We're under 9,000? So we might be able to get it, but it's going to be down to the wire. But on the upside, look at this. This isn't just any Gravitas ruins. We have found the teleporter. It's in the last place you look, right? Anyhow, I said greetings and salutations, everyone. I don't think this slice loaf is going to get dug up by anything. Basically, we just have to keep digging down. We might also want to excavate these areas so we can set up an insulated tile box around this place, because at the moment I think the cool steam vent has actually drowned itself. It'll be too high pressure to add more steam to the place, but even so, that is quite a bit of hot water in there. We're at least doing some work at preventing the overpressured polluted oxygen from totally choking the place out. Shouldn't this door close? Oh, you little jerk. I've actually known certain automated ranches to actually trap people. Okay, we have Ore Scrubber and Desalinator. I think next up, we should probably start preparing for more intensive things. So, yeah, we need to work on getting exosuits. But the technology that we just got. Desalinator. You pump in salt water or brine. It changes them into standard water and salt. It's not... Compared with the water sieve, it's not quite as good. The water sieve is actually going to run constantly unless it runs out of sand. The desalinator has the problem that once it fills up with the salt, you actually have to send a duplicate over to empty it. It's a little bit unfortunate, but hey, sometimes that's the only source of water you have, you just have to cope. Yay. The fact that they all look really drippy means that all this ice is probably going to is probably going to melt into polluted water any day now and completely flood this biome. Right, we haven't unsealed this area because we want to power this up and pump all the water out. Actually, wait, no. Do it like this. No, nope, I changed my mind again. Run the cable down here, and then up. That lets us install a manual generator and a smart battery. It's okay. This counts as a Great Hall because we have an orb-shaped rock in here. Why only one stone hatch egg? Because the one in the incubator doesn't count, okay. I'm slightly concerned. I sort of want to change the room settings for here and let another hatch get through so that we can have even more meat, but at the same time, I have to remember, this was the cutoff point. We just don't have a... Either we're going to meet it or we won't. Also, I don't know whether it's showing up in the narration recording, but it's actually gotten so cold this evening that I've had to switch on the air conditioning but in heater mode. Carnival makes me so freaking paranoid. We dig down like this. We need to keep digging. We need to get some more. The specific word that I'm looking for is we need to get a proper visual on this situation. We've just gone so long without having access to the sister asteroid. I think this is the longest I've ever taken to get to it. I guess the advantage that manual airlocks have over mechanized airlocks is that manual airlocks have a lower metal requirement. I think that's an advantage, even though everything else isn't. See, the thing is, as we dig up, there's going to be a lot of ice here. We do have plenty of meat at least. We have 2,700 meat. That's a little bit of a visual glitch that I'm not too fond of, sorry. Which is enough to put us to 200,000 meat. In 20 days, 200... So then, I guess we just need to have a certain number of hatches remaining. Well, there goes some more meat. I guess one way to kill time is to discuss two of the plants in the caustic biome. At least I think that's what we call it. No, it's called the jungle. So then, the Draco is a relatively benign critter which can be domesticated to add to textile and food production. The morb's only function is to produce polluted oxygen, which may be useful when establishing sustainable production loops with other critters. Balm lilies would be useful for the production of critical medical materials. Pincher pepper plants greatly improve the nutritional and gratification of the colony's food supply. But because of their unique relationship with gravity, the plants must be orientated upside down for proper growing. So we have to use farm tiles, we can't use the planter boxes. So let's have a closer look at these plants and try to ignore that unfortunate use of the drowning chamber. The balm lily. It requires 35 degrees minimum all the way up to 85 degrees Celsius. So these plants need it to be hot. They do need the standard air pressure, but most importantly, they can only live in chlorine. So you need because they live at the bottom, sometimes you have to install carbon skimmers to get rid of any excess carbon dioxide making its way to them. Usual ambient radiation requirements, and they don't require any extra materials for domestic growth. Because they can be fed to Dracos, not the glossy Dracos, but just the Dracos, if you just want to do Draco ranching, then that's the food stuff you want to use. Unfortunately, duplicants can't breathe the chlorine, so you've got to use something to keep their oxygen... something to keep their lungs safe, let's be fair. I feel like I've gone over this before, I'm sorry if I have. Pincher pepper plants. They also require it extremely hot. But they have absolutely no atmosphere requirement. However, if you want to grow them domestically, they take phosphorite and polluted water. And quite a bit of polluted water, actually. 35 kilograms per cycle is not an insignificant number. We should be able to get one more batch of Pacu meat out of this group before the carnivore deadline. The downside is that, well, anything that uses a pincher pepper... I forget what they produce. I never use them because I never get to that point. They produce pincher pepper nut. The thing is, nothing in the electric grill uses the pincher pepper nut. It used to be, but then they introduced the... up here, the gas range, basically stoves. That's where you use all the pincher pepper nuts, which means that until that point they're just a waste of space that produce a lot of polluted dirt. Are you okay? I guess you got bitten by a sage hatch. If you can refine uranium ore It does produce more red bolts from the red bolt generator. The problem is that, well, those live on a planet we can't even get to even if we made our way down to here. But we finally have an eyeball on the situation. I've discovered a functioning teleportation device with a pre-programmed destination. It appears to go to another planetoid. I'm fairly certain there's a return device on the other end. I could send a duplicate through safely if I desired. Our star map has increased in... Even though we have absolutely no idea where this place should be, for some reason we know that it is exactly southwest of our starting asteroid. It has crashed satellites and mixed boulders, but we already knew that because of our starting system. Okay, that's interesting. It has oil reservoirs. This is not a surprise. We already knew that because this is the oily asteroid. It's going to be our source of oil. What's a surprise is everything else. The carbon dioxide geyser is actually really good for getting a sustainable radiation production, or red bolt production or whatever. The liquid sulfur geyser, it produces extremely hot liquid sulfur. So it's a bit too hot to just feed straight to our sweetles, so it's not really safe to use as food. But what it does do for us is give us a way to keep the oil biome hot, and that's important. Hydrogen vent. Your first thought might be, wait a minute, Hekamak. Look at this achievement. Super Sustainable doesn't prevent us from building hydrogen generators. Why can't we just install a hydrogen generator there and have infinite power? There's a problem. Hydrogen vents actually are pretty much guaranteed to put out hydrogen that's so freaking hot that it will destroy anything that we try to install. It just would. We need to get to the late game before we're able to tame hydrogen vents. Now that said, it does have tundra, swampy, rust, and oily biomes, so it is worth checking out. And the random name they gave it, Stinkerlin. That's a very tempting place to go, definitely. Yeah, hydrogen's building up a little bit there. Bed rest should increase your health back to normal, yeah? So Catalina's gonna be fine. She won't be walking around with a bandage on her nose for the rest of her life, don't worry about that. Okay, if we turn off egg count, we have 11 hatches. 11 hatches. Oh no. I don't know if we can make the achievement now. I'm legit thinking that we've failed the achievement. I'm gonna keep playing because it's entirely possible that we could get extra meat from the Paku down here, but because the problem isn't do we have enough kilocalories consumed per cycle. We have 10 people, we're going at 11. Theoretically we have enough, we need enough kilocalories per cycle to get it. The problem is I don't know whether we have enough meat, which... Again, I'm going to have to absolutely make sure that every time the printing pod has a package ready, we make it a care package of barbecue or paku. Hassan's having an absolutely awful time up there. Don't ask him how his day's been. But what we do need is to make our way down here for faster. I'd also like to give special mention to me looking up what a cuddle pip is supposed to do. Apparently a cuddle pip doesn't plant seeds, but instead it incubates eggs. And apparently, I don't know, I guess we'll see those morphs when we get to them. Conveyor rail blocked. Right, that's what we wanted. I guess I'll add sedimentary rock to what we're tracking, because eventually... Ooh, what should we add to Gene's listening repertoire? Let's give him improved strength so he can carry more. And Hassan needs a skill point. He can also have improved strength. It adds on to his already impressive beefsteak strength after all. So what I want to do here is dig just a little bit higher and then dig sideways. I want to try and make it to this door, but I don't want to dig up into the biome because as you can see, it's gonna melt any day now. I want to dig down into it because if I dig up, then it'll just end up flooding the base with super cold waters. Now then, with all that said, we've actually unlocked the textile loom. It wouldn't be safe to add it to this network. Also, we have dense pufflet egg and squeaky pufflet egg now. Nice. I'd say add it like this. We aren't making a ranch here, so it's okay to install some industrial machinery. Add the duplicate motion sensor there. And let's see, if we install a ceiling light, it goes just far enough down. Sweet. On the downside, we've run out of copper. But someone will be along to make more, I'm sure. Oh dear, little sweetles. I hate to feel like I'm just looking around for things to pick on, but I want this achievement. I don't want to end up missing it. The idea is that if we have 50 the problem is I can't tell how many hatches we've gone through, so I can't tell how close we are there. Ashken. I think I'm going to give him stats and hard fundamentals, even though I'd like to go improved farming just to keep his morale balanced. There's a thing about... okay. Artifact analysis. can identify mutant seeds at Botanical Analyzer. There's certain tasks now that are considered science tasks, but the unlocked stats are in other skills. So we might as well get him started into those categories. Also, we're actually getting quite a lot of extra manual generators, aren't we? We could always install the piping needed to set up this carbon scammer, but I don't feel particularly motivated to do that. I'm not sure what to do about this, because this thimbleweed is kind of drowning. But, well, what it is entombed, because it's a 3-tile plant, but the uppermost tile is blocked by this slime. But if we dig up this slime, then it means that this polluted water is going to rush down here, and it might end up drowning these wild plants. Oh, also, we can inspect this for a databank. And we can inspect this for a databank. An electronic display projecting the blueprint of a robotic device that looks like a ceiling robot. And, while scanning the antiquated computer code of this machine, I uncovered some research notes. I added them to my database. Dr. Techner's newest notes on duplicate memories have revealed some interesting discoveries. Seems memories can be transferred to the cloned subject, but it requires the host to be subjected to a machine that performs extremely detailed microanalysis. This in-depth dissection of the subject would produce the results we need, but at the expense of destroying the host. So of course this isn't ideal for our current situation. The time and energy it took to recruit Graphitus's highly trained staff would be wasted if we exturbate these people for the sake of experimentation. Or perhaps we can use our duplicates as experimental subjects until we perfect the process and look into finding volunteers for the future in order to obtain the ideal specimen. I'll have to discuss this with Dr. Techner, but I'm sure he will be enthusiastic about such an opportunity to continue his work. I'm also very interested in the commercial opportunities this presents. Off the top of my head, I can think of applications in genetics, AI development, and teleportation technology. This could be a significant windfall for the company. Log ends. So yeah, unfortunately they're doing this. They're taking teleporters as very literal. That is, if you teleport someone, you're not really teleporting them. You're just killing and cloning them. Anyhow, even though the copper is tempting, and so is the iron. We have 2 people with iron gut. What a pain. I'm going to save Scum. Until next... I'm going to save Scum because we need the meat. Until next time, guys, take care. I'll see you all around.